Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with Anne Chamberlain, who is a familiar face to many of you in her various roles in the industry with Holland America, Virtuoso, ASTA, NACTA, and now, of course, she is Vice President of Sales. I'm going to promote you right now to Senior Vice President, okay?
I'll take it.
To take it. So Vice President of Sales for Scenic Group, which, as you know, is this great Australian-based company, but has been offering luxury river cruises, which everyone knew them for, and now sort of expedition yacht cruises, super yacht. In fact, one of the most beautiful ships I've seen, and Anne was actually there the day it was christened, as was I in New York last year. And of course, they have other brands like Emerald Waterways. So they have a large contingent of river cruising and now ocean cruising. And we're going to talk to her about how Scenic Group has handled, obviously, the topic of the day, the coronavirus crisis, and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Anne, first of all, how are you? Where are you at this point?
Hi, James. Well, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. It's always great to see you. Doing a Zoom meeting here. I'm in Seattle, Washington, is where I am based. And I'm doing great so far, just helping our travel advisors and our guests navigate some really difficult times. It's been our first priority.
Yeah, well, how has Scenic Group been dealing with this coronavirus crisis so far? I mean, obviously, your chairman, owner, Glenn Moroney, is in Australia, which is kind of under lockdown too.
Yes.
What is your plan? When right now? When are the first cruises? And of course, the dates can change. When are they supposed to begin in Europe, for example?
Well, right now, I'll take you through really what we've done as far as our rollout plan with our suspended sailings. So like everybody else, we're working very hard to take care of our travel agency partners and our guests as our first priority. So we started our suspended sailings March, April. We did a rollout with that. We suspended those operations, and then we suspended May and June. And now just recently, just last week, we announced the suspension of our July and August sailings through the end of August, with the Eclipse being suspended through September. So we've worked this on a gradual process, so we can do this very slowly and efficiently. I shouldn't say slowly, but we can do this very timely, is probably a better choice of words, with that as we take care of our travel advisor partners.
No, and you have to do that. Obviously, you're doing point by point to handle rebookings. And how is that working with rebookings versus refunds? Do you find that most people are trying to rebook for later in the year or even next year?
Well, yes, and as a matter of fact, you brought up our Australian roots. We've been with, Scenic has been around for over 30 plus years in Australia. We're fairly newer entrants in the U.S. market. We've been here just about 6 years. I've been with the company now 8 months, and little did I know we'd be embarking on this very difficult time. But I think it is going. I think we're all kind of getting our grounding as we first started the suspension process, but now we're kind of getting in a rhythm with this. And what I'm really happy about with Scenic is what we're offering as far as the breadth of choices with the suspended sailings. So whether it's a generous future travel credit for July and August now, they can use that credit all the way into 2023 if they'd like. We're also protecting the commission. As you know, I've advocated for travel agencies for half of my career at a former consortium and ASTA, and I want to do right by the travel agency community. So for me and for my sales team, it was very important that we protected that advisor commission on the suspended sailing with the FTC, in conjunction with that FTC. And so they're really getting a double pay of commission with that. So we wanted to make them whole.
No, and that's great news. And I know that has been an issue, unfortunately, with some of your competitors and some tour operators and certainly airlines. But that's another story.
So that was important. That was an important aspect, is that we took care of our partners as far as the commission in conjunction with the FTC. And then I wanted to see some flexibility with that future travel credit. If somebody was unable to take that future credit and they wanted to pass it along to, say, a neighbor or a friend or somebody else, that they're able to do so. So we made that transferable as well.
No, that's great news. And I'm sure, so you're rolling out as you've had to cancel sailings, you just keep addressing that and again. So it's sort of an ongoing process, I guess, until you get back in the water, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So let's talk a little bit more about how you are working with travel advisors at this time and try to getting them ready and kind of supporting them through this period and getting them ready to book again. First of all, are they booking cruises for later in the year and also for next year?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I get asked that question quite a bit. And the net new bookings, yes, we are getting new bookings. We're getting it on River, on Scenic and Emerald, as well as our yacht product. And the United States, we're a global company with Australia, UK, and Canada in the US market. And the US market is number one in sales for new bookings.
Well, congratulations!
Thank you.
You can take at least a large credit for that. I'm sure that's you got a great product, and it really is something for next year. So are you seeing more for next year totally, or are we actually seeing some for a little bit for this year?
Yeah, for 2021, really, that's where we're seeing the uptake too for that. People have pent-up demand; they want to travel. So again, this is not just the future travel credit with the rebooking. This is actually net new bookings where people are calling us up to book a Scenic Emerald or a Scenic Eclipse cruise. And I attest that too with the strong relationships that we have, James, in the field, and this really seasoned, stellar sales team that I have, being in touch, connecting with the advisors. And the answer your question too is that we get asked oftentimes at the local level to participate in webinars and go-to meetings and on panels. And I think that's one thing that our team has been really good about doing is making themselves available. You've heard of the late night happy hour chats that they have with advisors, and those tend to be very popular just so we can stay connected and keep our message out there.
No, and that's really important. And I know agents, travel advisors need to get that message. Now, are there any other special programs that you've introduced to support the U.S. travel advisor community in the market?
Well, one I'd be remiss in not saying is Happy Travel Advisor Appreciation Month. Usually the month of May is there. We took ASTA's lead. We followed that. We wanted to do something nice for our travel advisors because we know they're working so hard for their clients during this time. So we came out with an extra 2% bonus commission. Just wanted to put that out there on any booking, any product, future booking that they have across all three of our brands. And we're also going to give away 2 free cruises, one on Scenic River and one on Emerald Waterways. So some lucky winner. We just want to acknowledge the hard work our advisors are doing in the industry. So we put that program out in place as well.
That's great. And I know the advisors appreciate that, and they'll get back to booking you very quickly either way. We'll see what happens. Now, one of the things about as an Australian company, it began with a lot of clientele from Australia. And I don't know if you're in a position to know this or see this, but are Australians seeking to get back to booking travel again with you and with others? And I know that is a percentage of your market. I mean, how are they responding to this?
Yeah, a lot of it, I think the world is doing armchair dreaming. I think people really do want to get out there. We've heard that term used a lot. Australians are a large bulk of our market, but so is the UK, Canada, and the US market. When I had an opportunity to take my orientation cruise, I loved the dynamic with the Australians and our fellow Brits on board. So it was a really nice mix. And I think, James, when things do open up and we are allowed to sail again, cruise again, that people will go at their own comfort level and be able to board the ships of their choice and enjoy the cruise.
No, that's fantastic. Now, and here's a question I didn't have for you before, but you've obviously been around the travel advisor community for a long time, as have I. What is your best advice for travel advisors in this time? You've worked with ASTA, with Virtuoso, with NACTA. You've been a cruise sales executive for a while. What would you tell travel advisors right now to do as we get through this?
I tell my sales team too, we approach each problem or a situation that comes to us we know is unique. There's underlying situations. I would say be calm, be patient. We know we're going to get through this time, and we all are so codependent on each other, whether you're a supplier, whether you're an association, whether you're an advisor that rolls up to a host agency. We have a large network of support around us. So taking advantage of those resources, your field salesperson in the field, talking through what are the benefits of taking a future travel credit, what are the different aspects of that. Don't try to know it all. Use your resources that you have in the industry. And it really is so true, James, that we're in this together and we're so reliant on one another to have a win-win in a business situation.
No, absolutely. And then, of course, the other advice I hear constantly is stay in touch with your customers, your clients.
Absolutely.
Be there for them when they're ready to book. And that's been the question of the day lately. Is it okay to ask for a booking now? Is it okay to start marketing? And some people are okay with that. And obviously, the people for 2021, you say, yeah, I want to. And if you don't ask them, they're going to go with someone else, right?
It's right. It's right. Because everybody has a different comfort level when they feel that they're ready to get out and start traveling again. And so we're aware of that, and keeping in touch and understanding the comfort level, I think, is important. And staying ahead of the curve too. My sales team in the field, they're eager. They can't make sales calls and walk into agencies, of course, and say hello, but they can get on the phone and they can pick up the phone and talk to their advisors and find out how things are going for them.
That's always important. And I know we try to talk to travel advisors all the time and communicate with them and see what they're doing, and as well as our supplier partners. And it's crucial at this time to do that. Now, is there any other news out of Scenic at this time, or other things you would like to tell travel advisors? We go out to about 100,000 out there. So if you got any breaking news, let us know.
We do. I mean, you saw May 7th, we announced the new Eclipse 2. So Scenic is a very financially stable company. We own all of our vessels. We have a new company called MKM Yachts, which we've announced 5 new luxury ships in 6 years.
Wow.
So if you like the Eclipse, James, when you saw her out on the East Coast, we're going to be building more of that class of ship and of the yachting. We anticipate that to be very popular. We anticipate a very healthy Antarctica season. And really good things on the horizon, as well as the Emerald Azura. We had just launched her in February. We had 4 events across the United States. And these ships are perfectly suited for charter as far as the size of these vessels. So right in the Azura being perfect chartable size, as well as 228 passengers on that beautiful Scenic Eclipse.
Well, you're definitely getting very heavy into expedition yacht-like ocean cruising.
Yes.
That's, all of a sudden you're going to have quite the fleet in a few years. And I know, everyone remembers the unfortunate troubles that Scenic had launching its first ship, Eclipse, not due to its fault, but because there were issues with the shipyard. But the ship that resulted is one of the most beautiful I've ever seen. And it looks like you've alleviated that problem in the future if you actually kind of own the shipyard. I mean,
own the shipyard.
You're not going to have any problems now if you own it. That's for sure.
Yes, that's true. That helps. That helps. But yes, having the multiple brands, and also as we talk about the FTC credits and being applicable across not only Scenic River, Emerald Waterways, and Scenic Yachting as far as the Eclipse. So again, it's great to represent such a breadth of product with over 25 ships, whether river or ocean cruising.
That's fantastic. Anything else, Ann, that we can learn from you about Scenic right now?
I just want to tell my travel industry friends, hang tough. We're all in this together. We will come through it. I know you hear that a lot, but we rely on you and depend on you, and vice versa. So I look forward to seeing all of you as soon as we can at a live event in the near future.
Yes, we are all getting zoomed out, as they say lately. But Ann, it's great to see you. I'm sorry we're not seeing you in person, but hopefully that will change soon. Maybe at ASTA, who knows? Which is the first conference that we all know it might happen. But it's been great to hear what's going on at Scenic now, and thank you very much for taking the time to fill us in.
Thanks, James. Appreciate it. Goodbye.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.